It was a good place to go for the to go out for a night out.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna definitely, because of my other commitment today,
Yeah.
going to need to adjust this program on the run. So at this moment, I'm gonna put everybody on mute. I started recording already. And I'll play a song, which I would have played with a question attached to it. But this is Dawn Penn's song, Night and Day. Yeah, that one's called Night and Day. I'm going to read everybody just a short biography about Dawn Penn. Dawn Penn was born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening.
I'm going to read everybody just a short bio. We'll get started with some questions. Dawn was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and up to the last few days, I would have called her a reggae pioneer, star, and recording artist. Well, she is certainly all of those things. She's also a multi-talented, multifaceted and most interesting woman who played reggae and the gospel star. She started out during the rocksteady era of the late 1960s. Her earliest recordings were composed and written by her. In '67, she recorded the rocksteady single, "You Don't Love Me." We'll hear that today. Produced by Cox and Dodd at Studio One. Also recorded with legendary singer and producer Prince Buster early in her career with Long Day, Short Night, Blue, Yes Blue. We'll hear both of those also. By 1970, Dawn left the music industry and moved to the Virgin Islands. I think you moved to Tortola.
I did.
That's one of my favorite places to visit.
Me too.
Outside of the music industry for a significant stretch of time. She came back to Jamaica in 1987. In the summer of '92, she appeared on the stage at a Studio One anniversary show where she performed that song I mentioned, "You Don't Love Me." Remember, that was 15 years earlier that she first released the song. The performance was such a huge success, and she returned to the recording studio to re-record it. It was then released again as a single. No, no, no. I call it No, No, No. So it corrected me on that one. And it became a huge international hit, reaching the US, Europe, plus hitting #1 in Jamaica and #3 in the UK. In 2013, she performed "You Don't Love Me, No, No, No" at the BET Awards. Barry and Delroy will love this. She performed on the New Year's Eve Hootenanny show for Jules Holland. We're going to show that video today. That's an England tradition. And at the end of last year, Dawn released her most recent album entitled Dawn Can't Gospel. And we'll hear from that. So, Dawn, did I leave anything really important out before we take some deeper questions?
No, it's okay. It's good.
That's all good. Okay, so what the format is here today is, we'll chat some. I'll play some of your music. In some cases, I'll play some of the song. And in a few cases, I'll play all the songs. A while back, I had JC Large as a guest, and she was surprised. I think pleasantly surprised that I played whole songs. But I told her that, I'm really an amateur at this, and I don't know any better. So I'm letting you know that I will be playing some full songs today. So let's start here. If I understand some of your early childhood correctly, you started out studying classical music.
Yeah.
Maybe you still play piano, organ, maybe some other. How did that early musical education help you go career?
I'm not hearing your question so well, but you're asking me about my musical journey, classical musical journey.
Yes.
I went to a lady called Mrs. Lena Robinson, who lived on Kensington Avenue from where I live. I live in Marlborough Road and she was on Kensington Avenue. So I used to go down to Times Square, Times Street, Times Store down King Street. Sorry, I'm in the place now. To buy pieces that the Royal School of Music would have set. And you had to learn them plus the scales attached and know to do quite a few musical tests that the examiner would give you from the Royal School of Music in the UK. So I went up to grade 7.
Trying to answer the phone. I was a little slow getting it because I was listening to John's Zoom music.
Let me start again.
Yeah, no, you don't have to start again. Just pick up. I muted the person.
Yeah, I did classical music. The examiner would come from the UK and we had to play these pieces. The music teacher was behind the door. She would tell you whether you passed with a credit or you got distinction on that exam because she was that good. And over time, I did things like with Louise Benetton Ward Theatre, George Lois Skelly and people like that, Marjorie Wiley. And the Y choral group I sang in musically. And I went to about 6 churches around that time too. So music was part of me. I entered the Jamaica Independence Festival and sang a song called Make Up Your Mind and played. But my name at the time was Connie McGann. Then I did To Serve With Love as Suzette because my parents couldn't know that I was doing any kind of thing like this, especially my dad.
That's funny, as you say that, I'm thinking just a couple of days ago, we did a show that was dedicated to Nina Simone.
Wow.
And Nina Simone, was a classically trained pianist, but she really made her living, and I'll use her term, as a lounge singer. And she changed her name because, she thought it might be embarrassing to her family.
Well, Tyrone Evans of the Paragon said Don Penn was not name for music, so he advised me to call myself Conor McGann.
Okay.
So I sang as that in the Jamaica Independence Festival at Johnson's Drive-In.
You just mentioned the song "To Soar with Love," and that happens to be the first song that I want to play from today. What attracted you to that song?
Well, I was at West Indies Records, and I think it's somebody like Boris Gardner, because he was one of the bands working down there, studio band, and they asked me to sing it, but I couldn't let my parents know. So I was studying French, and I called myself Suzette. Just that Suzette is Aurora is also a name for dawn in French. So that's how that name came about. Okay. If I'm making any sense.
Yes, you're making sense. So I'm going to play a little bit of "To Soar with Love" by Dawn Penn. A little bit of "To Soar with Love." Dawn, you gave me the perfect segue for my next question, because you mentioned the Spanish meaning. I'm sorry, the French.
Yeah.
Something. But I understand that you do speak multiple languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, German, maybe a few others. I mean, I took Latin in high school and Spanish in college, and I didn't do very well in either one of them. Do you think there's a relationship between your musical prowess and your linguistic prowess?
Okay, what it is, my dad lived in Cuba for 32 years. So I was hearing Spanish all day long. He called the dogs in Spanish Manolo. So the dog would know he used to come to him, kind of thing. And when I went to St. Hugh's, I did French in school. We also did Latin. And we did some German in sixth form. And eventually, when I came to Europe, what I found out that when you speak to the people in their language, you kind of get a plus. It's a plus, because they could be talking about you, and if you don't know what they're saying, you know what I'm saying? So I learned Italian. I learned a little Hawaiian to hail the people. These countries, Luxembourg, Germany, you learn German to say hi to them, and rap to them sometimes. And I particularly predominantly like Italian, French, and I understand them. Like I can translate them. Like I know French very well. I can translate it because we learn from the roots of the verbs, conjugating the verbs and learning the language and saying it in the command form and things like that.
I think you're
My network.
underestimating how difficult it really is. For many of us, it doesn't come naturally at all. So I think you're very talented to have picked up multiple languages and you can play multiple instruments, and that's very special.
Yes, the violin, for example, I used to go to the Salvation Army Church on North Parade, which is close to Randy's. You have to pass Randy's to get to Salvation Army, which is 19 North Parade. And there was a lady called Flo Wilson who does a radio show, and herself and Cheryl Case had a concert and they were playing the violin. And our parents were there and they asked us if we wanted to learn to play the violin. And we said yes. I also have my violin in my house as we speak.
Wow. And when was the last time you picked it up and played it?
Well, I picked it up recently. I have to get the bow fixed. It needs to be rethreaded. That's why I don't play it really right now. But I have a keyboard, a synthesizer keyboard in my above my bed.
Okay. You walked in on us listening to the song Night and Day, but even though I played it already, I want to ask a question about it because many of us are from New York. Do you recollect anything about making the music video for Night and Day in Brooklyn's Prospect?
Yes, of course. The song Night and Day is an Augustus Pablo song. It was very short when I sang it, so I made a second verse. Yeah. Prospect Park, I had to go there from somewhere else, and I had to fly out that morning very early. So the concept of the video was to do a section with night, and then when the morning is coming up, because that's what Night and Day was about for the movie After the Sunset with Pierce Brosnan and Don Cheadle.
Yep.
So yes, I had to fly out shortly after doing that video to Jamaica.
Wow.
Yes, Prospect Park. I remember it very well. I'm in a white dress singing Night and Day.
Yep.
The song.
Dawn, I could spend just a day listening to you tell stories about people you met, people you shared the stage with and collaborated with. But I'm just going to ask you about two. Before I play Blue, Yes Blue, which was recorded with Prince Buster.
Right.
Can you share a little bit about your collaboration with Prince Buster, which I know was both a musical and a spiritual collaboration? And on a completely unrelated note to the song, maybe tell us a little bit about your collaborations with Johnny Nash.
Okay. I was at Randy's studio when Johnny Nash, Arthur Jenkins, and Danny Sims started to work with Bob Marley. Yeah. I was in the studio every night for about 6 months, listening to the music, kind of giving my ideas of where the horns could be and things like that, like the arrangement. We learned to write songs and, 2 verses, a chorus, or a verse, of chorus, a verse, a bridge, and things like that. You're asking me about Johnny Nash, right?
I'm asking about Johnny Nash, and then I'm going to ask you to go back and tell us a little bit about Prince Buster.
Yes, we were in that studio for about 6 months every night upstairs, to the point where recently Miss Pat was telling me about her book, and she wanted to know if I had any pictures of being up there because she wasn't upstairs. So I gave her a picture of that because I took some pictures with Johnny Nash, Peter, Bunny, Jimmy Norman, to name a few.
Wow.
But we were up there, and I actually had the picture, so I sent it to her as well. From my book, I was actually selling the book in Virgin Megastore. It's so crazy. I was working in Manhattan in Virgin Megastore, and people from VH1 come in, and I used to sell them the Bob Marley Rebel box set. But I didn't have a copy for myself. So Danny Sims gave a copy to me, a signed copy to me later down the line.
That's some serious name dropping there.
No, but they were there every night as well. So That's
Wow.
what's up.
So in doing my research of your music, I stumbled upon a song. I didn't know that you did a version of this song, and I love this song, and I listened to your version of the song, and I loved your version of the song. So before I play a little bit of it, tell us why you were attracted to Stephen Still's song "Love the One You're With."
Oh, I was doing the album Come Again for Trojan. I co-produced that album. And a Delroy Wilson person who was working at Trojan suggested me to sing that song. That's what it was.
Okay, and you did such a beautiful job. I want to play just a little bit of "Love the One You're With."
Okay.
If you're down and confused and you don't remember who you're talking to, your concentration slips away because your baby is so far away. Well, there's a road in a mystic island, and the eagle fly with the dove. And if you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. You gotta love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. Turns your heartaches into joy. She's a girl, you are a boy. Get it together, make it tonight. You ain't gonna need any more advice. Well, there's a road in a mystic island, and the eagle fly with the dove. And if you can't be the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. You gotta love the one you're with. You better love the one you're with. Love the one you're with.
And just a little taste of "Love the One You're With."
Wow.
Dawn, before I play the next song, I want to go back to talk a little bit about Prince Buster.
Okay. What it is,
Go ahead.
I am living at 133 Luke Lane. That's behind where in the front it's Orange Street and North Street, Sterling's and Sunshine Bakery and all these places. But on the other side, you have Prince Buster, and you also have this particular guy who was a tailor around here. He was a singer as well. His name is not in my head right now, but I went to Prince Buster. His mom and my mom were good friends. My mom used to work at the hospital at Kingston Public Hospital. So it was just like the next street from where we live for the hospital. And we used to go to Orange Street from Luke Lane, which is the next one. My direction idea is not so right, but yes, one street, Orange Street. So what it is, I went there around when they were doing Ramadan. I went upstairs. Prince Buster had upstairs his record shop, a building that he started the Muslim mosque. So I ended up going up there when they were doing Ramadan. So I learned about fasting and things like that. And I did Sir with Love. No, not to Sir with Love. Long Day Short Night, which is a Dion Warwick song with Hal David and Burt Bacharach. And
Which is the next song I'm going to play from.
is it?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you continue. It's
Yeah,
one.
Long Day Short Night. I did Blue Yes Blue, which is my original song at the time, still. And I think Why Did You Lie? Another one. I can't. It's 4 songs I did though, but 2 were covers. Are You There? And Long Day Short Night was the cover from Dionne Warwick because she was my mentor. And Bluest Blue, and another song. I don't have it in my head right now, but it was 4 songs in all. I have them in a book.
All right, so let me play a little bit of Long Day, Short Night, and then come back with another question.
Okay.
That's a little bit of Long Day. Short.
Yes. It wasn't actually a collaboration in the beginning. I did it by myself, but eventually Prince Mr. Campbell came on that part there after. After, yeah.
It sounded great. Dawn, my next question, I wanted to ask you about your music, and I framed my question in a pretty broad way, which will allow you to take your answer any way you want to go with it. If you met someone who didn't know you or your music at all, and they asked you to describe your music and what does it reveal about you, how would you answer that question?
I perhaps would say I'm from Jamaica. I wouldn't tell him who I am anyway. That's not me. I like when people don't know me, actually. I go to airports and they're waiting on me outside there. And I pass them and they didn't know it was me. And, when they ask me where I am, it happened in a couple of places in Spain and Italy as well. They're looking for me. And where did you pass? Well, I passed you. What I would say about myself, I'm musically inclined. I love music to bits. I am in a spiritual mode now, though. Very serious. And I try to toe the line at my maker, if that makes any sense.
It does, and it's going to feed right into my next question. So let me put that one out there for you. First, I've got to make a confession. Before the last week, I knew you simply through your music. But in the past week, I did have the honor of already speaking to you on Zoom and doing research and preparing for today. I feel I know you so much better today than just a week ago, and for that, I'm very blessed. One of the things that I've certainly learned is that you are a person embodied with a strong sense of spirituality. I mean, unto itself, that's a journey. In fact, the next 2 songs I'm going to play are from your recently released gospel album. Can you share a little bit about your spiritual journey?
My spiritual journey is my mom passed in 2013. I went to the BET Awards in 2013 too. And 13 revolves around me anyway. So what it was, I started a fast from that time. I'm still on my fast, if that makes any sense.
That's an 8-year fast.
I don't have a particular number. I'm just on a fast, full stop. I tune into my creator on a daily basis. And when things get hard, maybe 3-4 times a day, it said pray without ceasing. Yeah. So I keep in touch. I wouldn't even say keep in touch. I make sure before I go to my bed, I'm going to say a prayer. And I'm going to, if I go to my bed at 12, I know sometime around 3 or 4, I'm going to wake up. I don't need a clock to alarm or anything. And whatever prayers I want to say for the day, today is the 4th. So today, my pact with my maker is that I say the prayers to suit the date. Like I would say 4 prayers today, but I said more than 4 prayers today. Sometimes depending on what the vibration is, because we have a lot of issues. I know we're in spiritual warfare right now. We're not in guns and ammunition. People need to wake up and find out. And it's in Revelation. And no matter what creed, culture, or thing we are into, you have to give thanks to someone. And I would suggest that one find the right person to give the thanks to. Now, my spiritual journey is I just tune in with my maker. And this is how this gospel album, I have 2 albums. I have a gospel album and a secular one. And the secular one is talking about everyday thing. If I saved all the money that I spent on my study, I'd be rich than an unemployed, being an unemployed dummy or something like this. Some of the lyrics. But this one here, no, I've had it. Some of the music came from the Never Hustle Music album. I did some tracks with John Forte as a producer, and those tunes never got out the right way. So I drew some of them from that album, since they were original songs, at least at 50% across the board on the ownership. And some others that I did with quite a few other producers as well. There's this man, I did this song, Have You Ever? Have you ever seen the rain? Have you ever heard the rain a tumbling? Have you ever seen the sun arise? Roddy from Broadway, East New York, by Sir Thomas Studio, and he had a studio there, and that song came about. And I did one with oh wow, it's so many little facets that made up that album. But I put on a track called The Kingdom of St. Penn as well, which is like a prayer, and it involves the Kingdom of St. Penn. So that's the anthem for that region.
Well, Dawn, I'm gonna play some of 2 different songs on the album, and maybe you could speak a little to each one. The first one I'm playing is Mercy Pon We.
Right. That came from the Never Hustle Music album with John Shop out of Brooklyn, Bronx, New York, and it never got out like that. It's on the Never Hustle Music album as well.
I'll tell you, this is a gospel.
John Forte.
John Forte, correct.
Mm.
This is a gospel album like I haven't heard before. Let me play a little bit of the full song, then we'll come back and we'll talk about the second one.
Okay.
Mercy Pon We.
This is a real state of emergency, you know. God bless the child of skies on. Too much fanciness, too much flash, not even love. Mercy upon me, mercy upon me, we'll forgive we. Father, and so be the truth. Mercy upon me. State of emergency. God bless the child whose God is on. Too much fanciness, too much flash, not enough love. mercy upon me, mercy upon me, mercy upon me. I should know some. I'm a run through the trouble. I throw no stone. I'm a run so be through. I throw no stone. Throw no stone. I throw no stone. My love so be through. Mercy upon me. State of emergency. The child who's got too much fantasy. Too much flash.
That's just a little taste of Mercy Upon We. Sorry to interrupt your singing, Dawn. You listen to the lyrics, and it's absolutely gospel, and then you listen to the rhythm, and you want to get up and dance.
Yes, and it's also like prophetic with what's happening now.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, the other song I want to play off the album. Tell us about What You're Gonna Do.
What you gonna do for your brother? It's another collaboration with John Forte and myself still. Really and truly, it's also Estereo, which is her stage name, and John were doing this track. And they asked me to sing, and I created the verse. But the verse I created was from the Bible, actually. I have to try to remember. We're in Jeremiah. I think I took it from Where's My Maker that gives me song in the night. That's the only hang up I have with remembering from where in the Old Testament it is.
It's a big book.
I know. But, it's the prophetic. Where's my maker that gives me songs in the night that makes my hand to war, just like the beasts of the earth, and make I wiser like a bird. I cried out and the Lord heard me. Something like that. It's a prayer too.
Thank you for that. Let me play a little bit of What You're Gonna Do.
Right.
Listen pretty, you better walk.
Just didn't want to stop it while you were singing along. It was so beautiful.
You heard me.
Of course,
Trying to be soft.
the microphone's on. Of course we can hear you, and it was beautiful. Before I play a video of the final song I'm going to play today, and it's from the Jules Holland New Year's Eve,
Oh,
Blue, big deal. This video includes a classic pull-up, and the one that's your signature song. It's "You Don't Love Me, No, No, No." I'm interested in learning more about kind of the history of the song, because you first recorded it in the late 1960s, and it was a hit in Jamaica, but it became a mega hit in the early 1990s, and there's got to be a good story there.
following the 35-year anniversary of Studio One, Heartbeat said they wanted to do an album to commemorate Studio One, which is Mr. Dodd, Clement Dodd, business, what do you call it, presence in the music industry in Jamaica. An album was done under their commemoration. We were by Dumbarton Avenue doing this recording, Dobby Dubs, Master Griffiths, Delroy Wilson, and quite a few others. But when the album came out, my track was running the album, so they had to put it on a single. And I got to deal with Big Beat Atlantic with a manager called Basil Marshall, ex-vice president of RCA Victor. From there, things picked up. I got some shows and started touring, and I hope I'm answering your question.
Perfectly.
That was I would say that was when I really entered the music industry, because doing those little things, being in pantomime and singing on the church choir and playing the tambourine in Salvation Army, or maybe playing the organ at North Sea Congregational Church from time to time, or the piano plays up at race course where Desmond Decker and the Aces used to play, or would be done by Beverly's playing on their piano, or maybe by Duke Reed on his piano there on Bond Street. So, and the one in the house, of course. My dad didn't want me to play rock music on his piano anyway, but the whole aspect of music around me has been what's keeping me going. And I know that it's a very perfect tool to hook up with the Most High as well. If you can't pray out of your spirit, or if you can't read a psalm, or you open your Bible and you don't open it on a part in the book that you have an issue with, then the next best thing to do is to sing a song to the Most High and give him praise. And your life is good for the day. Because they say one day at a time, it's really one day at a time.
Absolutely.
So with that, I give thanks for your indulgence and your help and your questions. They were quite cute, beyond what I was expecting.
Oh, Dawn, the cutest question is yet to come, I promise you.
Huh? Oh my God.
I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to come back with the ultimate cute question. I have an obligation to ask you that question. And
I hope it's not my age, because I will tell you, I know exactly what to answer you with that one if it's that you're asking me.
Well, I'll explain the origin of the question. And
Okay.
I promise you it's not inappropriate in any way at all.
Okay, cool.
Now I'm going to pull up the video.
No, no, no. You don't love me, and I know now. Did you? I don't You don't love me, yes, I know that. 'Cause you left me, baby, and I've got no place to go now. That's my word. I'll be ready to get in the dark pen, and you know me from when I'm dark pen.
It's even more fun when the artist sings along to the song. I have to tell you. That was great. You know, as I think about my final cute question, and I know you've already told us that you've been on an 8-year fast. I'm not sure you're going to have the answer to the question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So we as a group, we've been together for 316 consecutive days now, pretty much the whole pandemic, and which is why we came together. And we listen to music every day of the week except Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we chat, and we've got a couple of regular features. And one of the features that we've had over the course of our time together is we interview each other. One person interviews somebody else, and then whoever just got interviewed interviews somebody else the next Wednesday. And we're almost all the way through that. But somewhere along the line, Richard Daley's 12-year-old son, Ethan, said, hey, you know, you got to ask this question. This has got to be the last question you ask when you interview each other. So, Dawn, since you're now officially part of our family, I have to ask you this question. And the question is simply, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Ice cream. Flavor or color? Flavor?
However you want to answer it.
Well, the vanilla.
Okay, we've had a few vanillas before. Last one we had was a strawberry. That's what makes us.
I'm also into color therapy as well. I am into a lot of things. Simeon, how is my phone ringing though?
I don't know.
I turned it off.
Come
on. Yes, my favorite one is vanilla.
Okay. Again, now that makes you part of our family, and you know where to find us every day at 3 o'clock or 8 o'clock your time. We're always here listening to music and enjoying each other's company. Dawn, do you have a few more minutes to possibly take questions from anybody who's here who might have a question or?
Sure.
Okay, Barry and Eileen.
Fine.
Okay, are you waving goodbye? Or are you saying you have a question? Anybody wants to jump in with a question, just unmute yourself. Don't get shy on me now, guys. I see Trevor's moving to the device. Wayne, don't disappoint me.
I'll pop in.
Okay, Marianne.
I just want to say how much I love To Sir with Love, and just your voice is just exquisite. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the love and thank you for your comments. It's a
Of
pleasure.
course, of course.
Yes. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I agree with Marianne. I could listen to your voice all day. That's the kind of voice it is.
I'm telling you, I think. Thank you so much. And
Can I have a question?
Come. This is Delroy in England. Go ahead, Delroy.
Oh, England.
Yeah. Hello, John. I saw you about 4 years
She's probably going to come tomorrow.
in Huddersfield. Can you remember?
Huddersfield Festival. Okay, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, my question is, what's your second biggest hit?
What is what?
Your second biggest hit.
Well, I don't directly know, I know that there's a song called When I'm Gonna Be Free that was composed around 1965 when I was going to St. Hugh's, and it's still all over the place. Really, I think, I don't know what to say. Night and Day was, as I said, a track I just wrote one verse, and it made the movie After the Sunset and Praise Brosnan and Don Cheadle. And Why Did You Lie, I would imagine, might be one of them.
So, which one brought you most royalties then? The second.
There's this. I still would have to say it's You Don't Love Me, no, still.
You know, after
You Don't Love Me,
that
eh?
one,
Sorry?
after You Don't Love Me, no. After that, which one is the second?
Maybe you might have something called Why Did You Lie? That's an original song. Then you might have Blue. Yes, Blue would come into the equation.
Night and Day is a great song.
I don't have the albums here in front of me, but I actually have 7 albums. I was just being disturbed about some little thing with my, don't want to talk it here, it's not a good book. But yeah, I have many songs that the songs that I wrote from back in the day when I was going to school seem to be the most outstanding ones because the right things didn't happen. I had to redo them with Mafia and Fluxy, produce them myself, and it's on Vintage 1 and Vintage 2 via CD Baby. Come to find out, and there's a conscious one as well over there through Believe Digital, which is a distribution company. And I supposed to have I have an album, Come Again, as I told you about, for Trojan, and another album, there's another album as well.
Okay, can I ask you an easier question then? Who do you think is the best male vocalist from Jamaica?
The best. You have a lot of best.
Vocalist.
You have a lot of best vocalists from Jamaica, Don't underestimate Peter Touch and Bonnie Wailer. I am telling you, they're not an ordinary candidate. And of course, Bob Marley's there as well. You had this guy. It must be a dopey and a gunman. I want to find out yet. Yeah. You also, Dubby Dobson had some very good hits. Delroy Wilson had some very good hits, and these people are past. Prince Buster was very good. You have so many people who had hits as male. Hopetown Lewis, take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. No need to worry. You know that song?
Can I answer the question for you then?
Yes, sir. I'll be pleased.
It would be Dennis Brown first and Delroy Wilson second.
Okay, so
How do
where
you
you put
want
where you put Bob Marley and those people?
He's different. He's like an icon. He's not in terms of vocals. You can't compare him to Dennis Brown. But
Well, okay.
in terms of reggae pioneer contributor, he is the man who made reggae.
Who?
Bob Marley.
It frightened me because it's not Bob Marley alone either. Delroy Wilson was one of them too. Delroy
Yeah.
Wilson was in Studio One 24/7 singing Ever Since You Went Away. I wouldn't bother to have Desmond Deck as well. You
Yeah,
have so many people.
it's an
Johnny
amazing-
Osborne. You have too many, too much to call right now. You're going to miss out some of them and you don't want to miss out none, you know. Guys, a lot.
This is a debate that nobody can win.
No, absolutely not.
One good thing about music, when it hits,
Wait.
feel no pain.
Okay, you know something? Anyway, I won't go into that part, but you know that Bob Marley was at Studio One and Bob Marley left and went with Scratch and Bob Marley ended up in Randy's when Chris Blackwell signed him.
Yep.
Yeah? And I have been around them all this time. But I was just out with those other little people from Luke Lane to Bond Street to, 3 Miles, West Indies Records, Dynamic Sounds, Federal, and all these places. West Indies and Dynamic is the same place anyway.
Dawn, I'm going to ask you a question, and maybe we won't go so old school. Of the younger artists out of Jamaica today,
Oh my God.
are there any that you're particularly attracted to?
Well, as I said, Chronics is okay.
I love Chronics.
You see, I don't kind of focus on a lot of them. But if you call the names, I'll be able to tell you because I don't.
You've got Protege and
I know of Protege too because his parents are in music.
and Kabaka Pyramid and Iba Mar.
Which one?
Kabaka Pyramid,
I don't know that one.
Iba Mar.
I don't know that one either.
You know Coffee.
Heard of her, yes. I don't know her physically. Oh, yes. We were on some show in some festival, Coffee, KOFFE.
KFFE, yeah.
It's a very unique marketing selling name for coffee to drink and coffee the person. Great. Crazy.
Dawn.
Yes.
How about Doreen Shaver?
This is Trevor Daley calling. You don't know who I am. I played with you in Jamaica. I think I did 2 shows with you in Jamaica, and I can't remember where. And I'm trying to remember where it was now. Have you ever played at a club called Sombrero?
Of course. Sombrero was like Malines Road, somewhere nearby JBC, somewhere up that road there.
Yes. Do you know Rupie Edwards?
Of course.
Well, Rupie Edwards and I played in the same band with Dobby Dobson and
Yeah.
so forth. And we did a show, and I think it was Sombrero.
Sombrero Club, that plays to the person with the hat on the outside.
Yes.
I'm in the place now. I know where you're talking. Yes.
Yeah, well, I played with a group called the Virtues.
Okay.
Back then.
Right.
But what I wanted to say actually was John and I had a conversation a week or so ago, and he played some music, and I told him that, you know what, you're playing this stuff that's bringing back memories, and I'm just realizing how great music and musicians were back then. And you know what, Don, you're one of them. I totally forgot your music, and then John just brought it back to me. I'm like, wow, this was good, and I enjoyed today.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
And I thank you.
Music, you see, music, the Most High made music for us to praise Him. So because of that, and because of my church upbringing or my family upbringing, I was inclined to do gospel all along. But somehow, as I say, I broke out. And that's how my name had to be changed and singing all different things because on teenage dance party and someone saw me and said, "Oh, I saw Dawn dancing on teenage dance party, but she cannot be doing this thing if she's playing for church or something like this." And of course, we're on Youth for Christ. We're brought up in a Christian background. So really and truly, that's how my name switched from Dawn to Suzette and from Dawn to Conor again. They still didn't know it was me though. To this hour. Did I answer your question though?
Yes,
I think I strayed from the conversation, you know.
No, you did. You did.
And Dawn, I should tell you, because Trevor is not telling you, that Trevor is Richard Daley's brother.
Okay.
Richard Daley,
Okay.
bass player from Third World.
Yes. You know something though.
Sitting here very quietly in the room right now. Doesn't seem to have anything to say, but he is here.
Okay, I think if my memory right, I left Jamaica around 1970 and went back and then left again in 1972 because I was looking for my dad's roots. My dad was from Tortola and I couldn't understand certain things. So I went to pay the place a visit for the first time. But my kids were going to school down in the country. And I do believe, if my memory serves me right, I think the Daley person and them were, some child for that man was going to the same school where my kids was going in Jamaica.
Richard, does that ring a bell?
No. Hello, Dawn. I've been listening here. That's a little bit cut off when I was going through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Okay.
It's all good. But
your kids went to school. What school I went to in Jamaica?
Prairie and Hillel and Prairie and Hillel.
Okay.
Yeah.
But somebody from Third World, child was going to the school that they were going. Abednego and John. John is even here with me as well. And they used to pick them up and they used to go by their house from time to time. Strange word, but it's true. Anyway, it was great speaking to you.
Hey, Dawn, it was really an honor and a pleasure to have you join us today and share your story and your music. We're very blessed that you could do that with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Enjoyed
thank
it.
you. It was wonderful.
I am
Thank you.
chuffed. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Have a great
Arrivederci. Una bella voce.
Oh, adios, senor. I say if I was in a podcast, somebody speaking Spanish to me, I'd probably talk in French and kind of mix up the thing, you know what I mean? Yes. So it's great that you guys have give me a heads up that at least I'm trying to do something. Oh my goodness. But I'm pleased, I'm happy, and much more work to do.
Yes, much more. Third World's last title, more work to be done.
Yes. As I always say, there are so many artists from Jamaica, outside of Jamaica, that they shouldn't have a problem financially because they could keep a festival every month, just being crazy.
Yes.
Every month, the 12 months of the year, they could have a festival. And if they want to get funny, you could say the rocksteady era, the reggae era, the ska era, dancehall era. That was when we really got paid to sing because there's no contract and there was no administrative thing going on, but we still went along. And because of the love of music. But as for myself, my own, it has gotten deeper because I realized that singing is a means of contacting your maker. So that's what it is.
Okay.
Still on.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love that. Thank you.
Thank
Wonderful.
You're very welcome.
And Leslie's with you today, John.
She just got here.
Oh, okay. Hi, Leslie.
She can't hear you because I have the headphones on.
Oh.
This is great. What a talent.
Great show today.
Just wonderful. Just wonderful.
Beautiful voice.
She has a beautiful voice, yes.
Giving
And
thanks.
her voice sounded exactly the same when she was singing along, which that I found amazing.
Yes.
Her voice got better over the years.
Yeah.
I do believe.
Yes.
No, I don't think we've ever had anybody sing along to their songs before, and that made it doubly special.
But you know, you have to get into the vibration sometimes.
Absolutely.
When you hear the thing.
It's a feel.
Yeah, it's natural.
When I can't help myself from singing along, I make sure I mute myself because nobody.
No mice in the house.
Oh my God. But where you guys located though? Oh, sorry. Wrong question.
I'll go across.
In your location.
We've got the Netherlands, we've got England, we've got North Carolina, we've got Long Island.
Wow.
We've got Florida. We've got Atlanta.
Wow.
Connecticut. Yeah, we're
Fantastic. You see what technology does though. It just takes about a minute and some seconds and you're in tune with someone somewhere in some part of the world. Amazing.
correct. Exactly.
Crazy. But give thanks for the time, and we are blessed to be here at this time, and we have to give thanks all the time because we are blessed.
Tomorrow, just for everybody, we're going to be picking up with Anita Baker music. That's what we'll be featuring tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh my God. You have all these crazy, not crazy, but big artists on your plate.
We're all over the place. There's definitely a reggae bent to much of what we do, but to give you the perfect example, Dawn, of something completely unbelievable, Richard Daley's 12-year-old son, 12 years old, I'll say that again, his son Ethan has hosted a show in this room twice of Elvis Presley.
Wow.
It's great. Great.
Wow.
And he came
Excellent.
back, hosted again for Queen, and then more in keeping with what you might expect a 12-year-old to be interested in, he hosted a third time the music of Weird Al Yankovic. So yes, we are.
Congratulations, though.
It's the music that.
Congratulations for making it happen.
Thank you, Dawn. Everybody,
You're very welcome.
I'm gonna close this one out now because I've got another gig coming up tonight.
Yeah.
Another gig?
Yeah.
You're not at a gig yet.
This is absolutely just a rank amateur, but on a serious note, I am hosting a Zoom memorial service for someone tonight. So
okay.
I have to get ready for that.
Yeah, I know, and they're always on time, to the minute, to the second.
Correct. So
Ciao for now.
See you
See you
tomorrow.
soon.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bless. Thanks for having me as well.
See you guys tomorrow.
John, good luck.
Yeah. Huh? Good night. Okay.